First being many corporations have faced backlash recently for their support of the transgender ideology. Bud Light, obviously, went and has Dylan Mulvaney as an influencer. Target had swimsuits that I'm sure would be great for your former opponent, Leah Thomas, the tuck-friendly swimsuits. What do you think should be done about companies like this going woke?
I'm glad that they're getting boycotted. I'm truly surprised. I
Hmm.
think the Bud Light thing, um, it is what pushed people over that edge. This is they missed their mark so bad on their target audience. I have never seen a trans identifying individual drink a Bud Light, and so to go with that campaign, it was stupid. Um, uh, and that's why they're in the position they're in. And these companies, they don't follow blue or red, they follow green. That's what they follow. Bud Light's seen the atrocity that this has caused and the repercussions that they have faced monetarily in terms of, or I guess fiscally. Um, Now they're trying to come out with campaigns. They have this camo beer can, and they have all of these commercials with these burly men on motorcycles, but they're too far gone. That's not an apology. And that's what we need. We need accountability and we need an apology. I think that's reasonable. I think that's understandable. What Bud Light did, what Target is doing, what Tampax, Ulta, I mean, the list goes on at this point. Hershey's, I mean, really, I have a list on my phone of companies I won't buy from again.
Yeah.
Um, what they're doing is a mockery. It really is. And attacking children, which Target is doing, that's just perverse and sick. That's so twisted to put this kind of artwork and this kind of sayings and depictions on infant clothing. That's that shows me that this is a spiritual battle. When you're trying to attack children, and going for that vulnerable population, there's an ulterior motive.
Absolutely. Just a few more. You touched on your faith a little bit earlier. I just want, in terms of your lifelong swimming, your activism now, what role has faith played in every sector of your life?
It's always been a huge piece of my life. It really
Mhm.
has. I'm very fortunate to have a family that raised me to be strong in my faith. To have a strong family foundation in general is such a blessing. But this past year, really, I've been so spiritually awakened. Just seeing how evidently our God works and how he moves and how he puts people in places. Um, that being said, how clearly his opposition works and
Mhm.
how Satan moves through people and how he puts people in places and the deception that he carries, whether that's in the media, whether that's in Hollywood and our celebrities, which we see a lot of, in education and corporations. There's so many places where Satan is alive, and it's obvious. And so my faith has been a big push for me as to why I continue moving forward. Um, in Mark and Luke, it says it's not the healthy who need the doctor, it's the sick. And I constantly keep that verse in my head as to why I'm doing what I'm doing. So it's been a very big portion of my life, and it's what I lean on pretty heavily.
It's really interesting that you bring up that phrase in Mark and Luke, because my final question that I had was, do you have a personal philosophy that you live by, a motto or something like that? Would it be that, or is there something else that you're consistently thinking of?
Yeah, there are a couple verses, Bible verses that I keep in my head. One of which is Romans 8:18, which is for our present sufferings aren't worth comparing to the glory that will be revealed. And I really like that verse. It's always been my favorite verse, but this past year again, it's remained so relevant. Our present sufferings in regards to the backlash, in regards to the arrows that I take, in regards to my busy schedules where I don't get to see my husband that much.
Mhm.
All of the sufferings that I've endured really throughout all of this. It's so worth it when you compare it to the glory and the success and really just the understanding of what the fight is about and who you're helping and why you're helping. And so that's been something that I live by, I constantly think about. Um, so those are really the two verses I constantly think about.
That's amazing. And your hope is honestly inspirational. Finally, Riley, I just want to make sure everybody knows, like, what's next for you. Where can they find you? How can they support you?
Absolutely. You can find me on Twitter. It's Riley_Gaines_. I always try and post breaking stories, highlighting how politicians are responding, whether it's good, bad, just so people don't believe the narrative that it's a non-issue and that it's not happening, and all of those silly things that are so far from the truth. That's how people can find me.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Riley. I appreciate all your time. Honestly, I can't believe that we were able to get you on, and just thank you.
Of course. Thank you so much.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. If you like this interview, share it with everybody. Riley is amazing. Don't forget to follow her on Twitter.